Good YouTube? It's Blazeshadowthorns and Wi-Fi Battle OU stuff using a similar team. One you might have seen in the last couple OU matches I've uploaded. Maybe, possibly, ever seen this team before? Maybe. Looking at my opponent's team, definitely really bulky. I see the Tentacruel, the Gliscor core, the Mega in the form of either Manectric or Gyarados, although I'm leaning more towards Manectric because Gyarados is good on its own and Manectric kind of sucks on its own. Terrakion and Goodra definitely are really big threats, just because Goodra could be a wall, but most likely it's going to be Assault Vest offensive. Because that's what everybody runs, and everybody runs what everybody runs. So anyways, gonna lead off with the Lava Golem as he leads off with the Terrakion, which is really bad for me. But she's gonna pull a double. Gonna pull a double out into Air Force, which is actually the Gliscor, which is predicting my switch, which is really good play. As unfortunately for her, I switch out into Fly By Night, which puts me in an advantageous position just because I can just bop it with a Dracomador Meteorus, which I do decide to drop because I am choice specs modest, and regardless, it's going to be doing a lot of damage to pretty much everything on his team, to a KOing, if not OHKOing, everything. That includes this here specially defensive Tentacruel, which I assume it is specially defensive Tentacruel, and yeah, that's just going to do a clean 50% to the thing, which actually ate it up, like, considering it's a Draco Meteor coming from a choice specs modest Noivern. That did pretty much nothing. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go out to my Roserade. Not really sure what I want to do. Maybe Ice Beam, maybe go for Scald or Waterfall or Poison Jab. I'm not entirely sure what. But I know Roserade, regardless, can eat it up because Roserade's my specially defensive Chesto Resto stuff. And maybe this game Roserade can actually do something. Because if you remember correctly, Roserade has legitimately done nothing for me. Like, I played 2 games with this team, right? And Roserade's done nothing both games. So I'm very disappointed in this Roserade. It's done nothing to me. But anyways, able to get up a layer of spikes, which is pretty awesome for me because this will force him to Rapid Spin with his Tentacruel if he does indeed carry Rapid Spin. If not, it'll be taking some decent damage off every turn. So I actually predict the Flamethrower right here by going out into my Heatran, but he instead drops a Draco on me. That's fine. I resist it regardless. So I am max HP, max defense, bold. I take that extremely well for I mean, it is a resisted hit, but still, it's freaking Goodra, and Goodra has not that bad special attack. So, he's forced to switch out because he's at -2, and he's gonna go out into this here Tentacruel, and I actually predict this. Pretty nice play by me, but it was pretty obvious as well. Gonna hit it up with an Earth Power that does decent damage. Brings it down to a really low range of the HPs, which is definitely really awesome for me because the sooner I get rid of this Tentacruel, the easier time I will have. So he actually Rapid Spin's predicting my switch. Isn't going to happen because I kind of predicted the Rapid Spin, to be completely honest. That's why I put up the layer of spikes there to begin with, because honestly entry hazards aren't really needed for me to win. I just really wanted to force him to Rapid Spin right there. So I can knock out the Tentacruel right here. So yes, he got rid of the spikes. So yes, any of his potential sashes are now still intact. But it didn't get up rocks, and I do have Lava Golem, which has the potential to get up rocks, so that is definitely very good for me. Gonna bring back in this thing, this Terrakion, and this Terrakion's a really big problem for me, especially because my physical wall is weak to it. So I'm gonna go on to Sisburn, as he actually predicts my Noivern switch in, once again goes for the Rock Slide. Switches out right here, which immediately tells me that it's most likely Choice in some way. I'm thinking Choice Scarf, judging by how he's been playing around it so much. He's going to bring out this Gyarados, and this Gyarados is going to go for the Intimidate drop on me. Do predict this correctly, and I'm able to go for a Choice Banded U-turn. Resisted hit, yes I know, but it still does a nice chunk of damage off it. I get to see if it's leftovers or not. As gonna switch out and go out into the DM Bobcat, the nice and powerful Choice Scarf Raikou, because I can Volt Switch off this thing, I can kill it, I can force it, I can either A, kill it, B, force it to Mega Evolve, or 3, force a switch out, and I get Switch Initiative, which she opts to go for the third option, decides to switch out, go out into the Mega Manectric, trying to absorb the Volt Switch. Jokes on it though, I predict this, go for the Shadow Ball because she has 2 resists. She has the Manectric resist and she also has the Gliscor resist, so I knew going for the Volt Switch was way too obvious. And right here it shows me the Mega Manectric, which I'm like, alright, I can deal with Mega Manectric because you just lost one of your electric immunities. So I'm just going to go for another Shadow Ball, try and weaken this thing down, as he actually over-predicts, goes for the Volt Switch. I guess predicting me to switch out, not realizing that, hey, I'm going to stay in and Shadow Ball twice, because, yeah, I didn't expect that. So, anyways, he's going to go back out into the Terrakion, and this Terrakion, like I said before, not something I really want to deal with. So I am going to switch out. I'm going to go out into Rose Raid this time. Not sure if he wants to go for the Close Combat, predicting my Scizor, or the Rock Slide, predicting my Noivern. But either way, just going to get completely wrecked by a Close Combat. So once again, back again. Just kidding. Actually pulls the switch out. No idea why. Honestly, if I was her, I would have stayed in and just Close Combated twice and picked up the KO right there, which I was honestly banking on the minist damage because I went for a rest right here. Able to rest up and pock my my Chesto Berry, which is amazing for me. So actually reveals the Stealth Rocks on the Gliscor, which I have not seen Stealth Rock Gliscor in the longest time. You have no idea how long it's been since I've seen Stealth Rock's Gliscor, because they're always the same: Toxic, Substitute, Protect, Earthquake, Knockoff. Haven't seen Stealth Rocks in the longest time, so it was very refreshing to see Stealth Rocks right there. As I see no reason, I already killed off his Rapid Spinner, just gonna set up all these entry hazards, so I get some prior damage off on that Terrakion, and I want to save my Rose Raid at a good amount of HP, just because if I can, I'll bring it in once again on that Terrakion, because I already know I'll take 50% from the from the Close Combat, so I'll be able to live that pretty nicely. Actually end up predicting the Draco going out into Missing Core. Unfortunately for me, I get that wrong, goes for the Flamethrower, but regardless, with the amount of special defense I have invested and the HP I have invested in this thing, I am able to live it, able to hit it up with a Hyper Voice. Unfortunately, not enough to pick up the KO, just because, like I said before, it's most likely Assault Vest, and Goodra is very specially defensive. But regardless, I am able to pocket, able to go for the another Hyper Voice and pick up the nice KO right there. So he's gonna go out into Air Force, which I have no idea why, just because Gliscor is not a counter to is Gardevoir. I don't know why people think it is. It has an 83% chance to OHKO at full HP, so people, it's not a counter. I mean, maybe it's if it's specially defensive. Maybe if it's specially defensive, but it wasn't specially defensive, so. Decides to reveal the Rock Slide right there. Ends up getting a crit. I don't think the crit mattered, to be completely honest, just because I was at a low range of HP and it stabbed. But the way the HP bar went down, I don't know, man. I don't know. But the Gliscor is not exactly the most physically defensive Pokemon in the world, so I'm pretty sure it didn't matter. So what he decides to do is he's gonna pull a switch out. He's going to get he's gonna try and get the Intimidate drop off on me with the Mega Manectric, but unfortunately for him, fortunately for me, I have my spikes up, so doesn't quite work out in his favor. As I just show him the U-turn right there because I wanted to, and he sees that I'm gonna U-turn, so he's like, okay, I can bring out my my Terrakion again, and all's fair in love and war, and actually decides to go out into my Lava Golem here, playing it really risky, sacking off this Lava Golem, the Heatran right here, to get a free switch out into my I believe I'm going to go out to my Noivern right here, although don't quote me on it, because the way he's been playing around with this Terrakion, and the way I see he's been playing around with this Terrakion, leads me to believe that it is Scarfed. Or Banded, one of the two. Choice in some way. I lied. I go out into the DM Bobcat. Right here, I'm going to play, do a nice Volt Switch. Now I do believe I go out to the Noivern. I do apologize for that little bit of inconvenience. I guess I forgot about that that one play, but right here, yep, I do get it right. Going to the Noivern, predicting once again, back again, that Close Combat, which he does in fact go for, and I do resist that, but still does pretty solid amount of damage. So that's definitely something I have to keep an eye out, as he does reveal that he is in fact Choice Scarfed right here by outspeeding and knocking out my Noivern, which makes me cry because Fly By Night dies. It just dies. And yeah. But regardless, I do have the DM Bobcat right about here. And I outspeed because I've outsped it before, because I am Timid Scarf, and I'm thinking he might be Adamant Scarf. Maybe Jolly Scarf, but I still outspeed regardless. Gonna go for the Thunderbolt, pick up the KO. And that's not gonna be the game because he has one more Pokemon left. I was about to say, and that's the game, ladies and gentlemen. But nope, he has the Gyarados left, which I completely forgot about, to be completely honest. But that's why I didn't Volt Switch, because there's no sense in Volt Switching. So once again, Roserade did absolutely nothing that game, but it didn't die. It didn't die, so that's something, I guess. So that's the game. Rate, comment, sub. See y'all next time. Bye.